Welcome to Noel's World of Whiskey, and I am excited today because I found myself the batch 10 cask strength Glendronach that I'd heard good things about, but just wasn't around. It wasn't available. Now they have come out with several batches since, but this one had exceptionally high marks. So, which Glendronach needs, because other than the LRDs, it's kind of taken a bit of a boot in the butt, but a lot of that are the diehards, and because the whiskey might have changed a little bit through the years, and now we have Rachel Barrie, we don't have Billy Walker, and she certainly is competent. What the heck, you know, let's get into it. Ah, boy. Yeah, Billy Walker's famous distillery, Glendronach, which he also had Ben Rack, as well as Glenglassaugh, which he regretfully said he was never at that business long enough. Like, he sold the business, him and his partner sold that business before he had a chance to develop Glenglassaugh. And for him, he said that was a bit of a disappointment. He wished he could have been there a little bit longer, so he could have brought it up to where Glendronach and Ben Rack was. So, anyways, let's get into this. Let's go show you the bottle and the canister. Traditional can. You know, I kind of the way Glenmorangie went. I hope they don't go that way. I like the traditional look to it. So, anyways, good and solid, good solid can. And here is the bottle. Now, when I show you the bottle here, what I'm going to say is, when we talk about chill filtration and no color added, this was part of a couple of extras that Ralfy did, a letter from Brown-Forman regarding some of his remarks on the chill filtration, the coloring, etc. So, I think I'll leave that one up to you to watch Ralfy's two extras. In terms of coloring, it's basically, all it's given me here is a bottle at natural cask strength. We know it's from the Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez casks, first fill, I believe. And I do not see any information here on whether it is chill filtered or if it has added color. As far as I know, they are not stated on the bottle, so you make that judgment yourself. I can get pretty excited with Glendronach, and yet, you know, there's all this hype on the internet, you know, on their Brown-Forman going to chill filtration and adding coloring, and you know, I want to do a good review here on what I'm tasting, what my palate is getting, what notes I'm getting, my nose, the finish, the development, as to price, etc. I'm going to leave it up to Ralfy and some of the other reviewers to get into that debate, and also that controversial issue with Brown-Forman, because all those big companies are doing this. It's not just Brown-Forman. So, anyways, let's focus on the review. And I will post those two extras, which Ralfy explains the letters from Brown-Forman. Okay, I'd like to say great color, but we don't know how much coloring's in there. But come on, it's spent a bit of time in you know, Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez casks, so it's going to pick up some color from them. We know that. So, ooh, that sounded good. Yeah. Let's give it a pour. The best we're going to do on this is the legs, because we're really, as far as the color, you can look at the color.
Now we know there is no added color,
but we can show you the legs, and that's what I'm going to do right now, is we will show you the legs. Now we're going to let this sit in the glass for a bit. It is a new bottle, and let it breathe, and we'll get back to it in 10-15 minutes. See you then.
Glendronach was founded in 1826 by James Allardyce and a group of local farmers. In a short time, Allardyce had built up Glendronach's reputation for its quality in the big cities, but in 1837 a fire destroyed the distillery. Allardyce was bankrupt by 1842. In 1830, Glendronach was purchased by Walter Scott, who was from Tinique Distillery, and he rebuilt the distillery into its current condition. In 1920, Captain Charles Grant, son of William Grant of Glenfiddich, bought Glendronach and had it for 40 years before it was sold to William Teacher and Sons. They added a second pair of stills in 1967. By 1976, Allied Distillers had purchased the Teacher's estate. The distillery was mothballed between 1996 and 2002, then ran again until Pernod Ricard sold it in 2008 to Billy Walker's group, the Ben Riach Distilling Company. Billy Walker's group sold it in 2016 at a huge profit to Brown-Forman, along with Ben Riach and Glenn Glassaw. Rachel Barrie is currently the master blender for all three distilleries. They still use a cast iron 4-ton rake and plow mash tun. Each mash produces 18,000 liters of sugary wort. They add the warm water at 3 different stages to the milled grist. 66 degrees Celsius, then heated up to 88 degrees and last 98 degrees Celsius. The 9 18,000 liter wooden washbacks are made of Scottish larch, and the fermentation time is between 60 to 96 hours. The fermented beer is fed into 2 12,000 liter wash stills, and from there it goes into 2 9,000 liter spirit stills. The 4 coal-fired stills were the last of their kind in Scotland, and in 2005 they modernized to steam-heated coils. The new make spirit is 68.7% ABV, then diluted to 63.5% before being put into the cask. Glendronach is highly regarded for its use of high-quality ex-sherry casks. These are made of both American oak and European oak, where they have previously held either Oloroso or Pedro Menace sherry. After 50 years in the whiskey industry, the manager of Brown-Forman Scottish Distilleries, Alan McConkey, is retiring. For his dedication and service in the industry, he was given the coveted award when he was inducted as Keeper of the Quatch in 2018. The distillery is situated at the eastern edge of the Speyside district and was built next to Glendronach Burn, where the water was just used for the cooling process. The more pure water that is needed for the whiskey distilling comes from the Balnoon Spring in the hills.
So welcome back. We've let the cask strength sit here, 10-15 minutes, and I think it's time to give it the nose. I'm going to say Glendronach nose. I've actually, got a Macallan nose, and you've got the Glendronach nose. We have certain signature, I would say, to the nose, to the palate with the Glendronach. So very, very rich in the Oloroso. It's bright fruit, the dark fruits, plums, prunes, and oh my God, dark cherries. We are getting some leathery notes here, and chocolate. There is orange coming through here, some of that Macallan orange. Gingerbread. Manuka honey, cherry cordial, even some cherry blossom, the Lowney's cherry blossom. Wow, you can keep going with this this nose. It's intense, but we're going to go for the palate. So Solange, Glendronach, the palate. Boy, there's a lot of character. Lots of layers to this. We got candied apples. Oh, we got praline. Butter pecan pie. Well, the dark fruits are coming through. Some dark fruit crumble. Date squares. Slight bit of alcohol. Yeah, some alcohol. I say slight, I mean the alcohol's there. I'm getting the dark chocolate, the orange dark chocolate, mixed with a little bit of tobacco, spices. Oh boy, with those spices there, I'm going to say cinnamon, spices, cinnamon. You've got the ginger notes. Again, back a little bit of Macallan sneaks in there every once in a while. Ginger, orange, chocolate. There's a lot of stuff going on here. This is like old style Glendronach. Definitely, this has given me some of the stuff the old Allardyce, when I never had the bottle, but I got a chance to do a few grams of that with a friend. So, but that's what it reminds me of. As far as younger whiskeys and that, yeah, certainly it's a non-age statement, but it's really making up for it with those different layers that it's delivering. Like I say, there's a lot of character here. So close, sweet, it's just a slight bit of sweet mint. And I mentioned the ginger. I'm gonna put it this way: gingered candied apples. There's just a lot of stuff happening here. So we're going to go after the finish now. To the finish. Solange. Well, the finish is definitely going to be medium. I am getting a coating. I think some of the reviewers said there wasn't a coating. I don't know. My palate's obviously different than theirs. I have a coating. This is what is it, 57.8%, 58.6%, pardon me. It leaves a coating. So lots of spices going on here. Yeah, lots going on here, almost like a sweet date chutney, and you got the Christmas cake coming through. Lots of baking spices. We've got the nutmeg. It kind of drifts in and out between the spices and the sweetness, and it makes it interesting. There's just a lot going on. But we're going to add some water to this. So let's get into the water. Yeah, let's give it a hair bit more there, just a wee bit more there. There, that's good. Back to the leather. Oranges, cinnamon, ginger, and our spices. I'm going to stay with the Manuka honey. Wow, that's a perfect descriptor. And I talked about the date chutney. And I might have got that from one of the other reviewers. It's always been in the back of my head. But I wanted to use that one because I am a chutney lover. So, and it definitely fits into this. So I did mention the allspices, but also the tobacco is there. But it's more of that, I think I mentioned it once before, sail tobacco. Remember sail tobacco? The years and years ago, those old timers, that pipe smokers. A bit of the old sail tobacco. Such a beautiful nose, even with water. I mean, it really brings it out. Let's get into the palate with water. Glendronach, the Cask Strength Batch 10. I think one of the reviewers said, Noel, keep it in your mouth longer, let it develop. When I'm not doing a review, I'm one of the slowest drinkers out there. I can start a dram in the evening, and 2 hours later I'm still working on it. I don't do that every night, but it was a good, it's good feedback, and I don't mind your feedback, by the way. but I don't want to appear to be rushing. And we do want to get a bit of that development, so. But we are on the finish now. But this is a drink that definitely, you've got to let it sit a little bit. But having said that, with water, yes, it definitely add water to this. It really opens it up. And it leaves a coating on the mouth. So I am giving this an 88. That's where I'm putting it. A step forward for Glendronach, and something that I really think that I would recommend for those that are willing to pay, and I will post what I paid for it. It wasn't over the top, it wasn't cheap. It was affordable, but for what you're getting, and at today's prices, it's a decent value. So I'm going to ask you to drink wisely, drink intelligently. Do not drink and drive until the next time. So long.